Welcome to Minding Your Balance at Home. I'm Susan Chandler. Here's Rusty. Thank you for joining us. In today's video, we'll be working with the mind-body tools for better balance to help you have more ease and stability standing up and sitting down. Now, one of the first things to keep in mind as I'm minding my balance is that standing up isn't just about getting up. And that's because to stand up over my feet, well, right now all of my weight's back here being supported by the chair. So what I have to do first is shift forward and then I can stand up. And I reverse that when I'm sitting down. My weight goes down and then it can go back. Now that's helpful to keep in mind because there's a tendency, if I think I just want to get up, that the first thing I do is I lift up. And then maybe I try to push up. And that's a really inefficient way to get this weight out of this chair and over my feet. And if you've watched the Minding Your Balance videos on relaxation, you know that when our bodies are up, when our shoulders are up, we're less stable. So being mindful of the fact that I'm going to have to shift my weight forward, I can notice, I can feel my body position. Now, right now, I can feel that my weight, my butt, is a long ways away from my feet and getting up is going to be hard. So what I can simply do with that awareness then is shift my weight forward in the chair, especially if it's a deep chair like the one I'm sitting in now, and maybe bring my feet back in a little bit. I can also notice, oh, I just lifted up my shoulders. Well, again, they're not efficient and unstable, and you can do this with me right now. Lift up your shoulders and then feel them release and relax. My shoulders get to stay seated, not in the chair, but stay seated on my body. They don't have to do any of the work. So now that I can feel I have this good body position to move forward and up, I'm going to fold at my hips and then push out of the ground with my feet and my legs. So the power to stand doesn't come from my shoulders or my arms. It comes from these large muscles of my legs, these large bones of my legs. And then I reverse that to sit back down. Now I'm saying that our main power comes from our legs, but sometimes you may need a little extra help from your arms, from your hands to push out of the chair. And the secret to that, making that work well, is to do it at the very same time that you push out of your legs. If I push out of my arms first, I'm just lifting my shoulders. Ineffective and unstable. Now, I can feel right now that when I sat back down, my butt's a little too far back. So I'm going to scoot forward. Notice are my shoulders relaxed and down. And now, again, I'm going to fold at my hips and push out of the floor and out of the chair at the very same time. So then to sit back down, actually, it's just a kind of perfect reversal of what we did standing up. As a matter of fact, I can just run the video backwards. And there you see good form for sitting down. It's exactly the same. And an important part of that, again, it's coming back to this habit that we human beings have. I catch myself doing it sometimes. Sometimes we'll lift up our shoulders to sit down. Makes us unstable. So it's that same shape. I think of it as a zigzag shape where I'm folding at the hips and the knees and my ankles at the same time. And this is a really efficient, strong way of moving, and it's very stable. So it's like a scissors lift, if you've ever seen one of those. I've got the stability, this good coordination for the power, and then this really useful thing is that it's also sticking my butt back so my weight goes back to sit in the chair. Speaking of sitting back in the chair, now that I want to sit back, here's Rusty. He wants me to get up and let him out. Let me do that. Hang on a moment. I'm back. Oh no, and so is Rusty. I'm going to ignore him. All right, minding your balance. I think of minding my balance in two different ways. Rusty's minding my shoe. One of them has to do with the kinds of things I keep in mind. For example, I want to keep in mind that I have to shift my weight forward to stand up. I want to keep in mind that if my shoulders are up, I'm less stable. I want to keep in mind that my power, my big power, comes from my legs pushing out of the ground. And that if I'm going to add the help of my arms with that to push out of the chair, I want to do it at the same time. The other way that I'm minding my balance, though, is about bringing awareness, mindful awareness, to the sensory information that's immediate to movement control. More simply stated, I want to be aware of the feel of my body position and movement. So right now, I can feel that my butt's a long ways away from my feet, and that to try to stand up from here would be difficult. So that reminds me to move forward a little bit. I want to feel, are my shoulders up? And then to notice and let them relax, let that tension release. Then when I fold forward, I want to feel how I'm pushing out of the ground with my legs, and that my hands and arms are pushing at the same time. And it's this mindful awareness that's immediate to movement. That's what can give us the best balance and movement control possible. So just a few quick tips on how not to tip standing up and sitting down with ease.